Hey guys, it's Jason Creel and this is the Lawn Care Life YouTube channel. Well, let me tell you what I've done this fall that I hope works out for the better. But I have switched over about half of my customers to a pre-emergent that costs $1,600 per gallon. Let me explain next. All right, so why in the world would somebody pay $1,600 for a gallon for a pre-emergent? Now, let me clarify that you don't put it out, straight concentrate. It's heavily diluted in the tank, so you're not spending $1,600 per gallon on the actual yard of liquid, because you're only using the rate is at 6.5 ounces per acre. So it does go a ways, but the point is, this particular pre-emergent, which I'm going to show you, costs probably 5 to 6 times more than the prodiamine that I have been using in the past for my fall application. So why would I do that? Why would somebody spend 5 to 6 times more on a particular product? Well, first of all, let me show you the product. So this is Spectacle Flow, okay, put out by Bayer. So what's the deal about Spectacle? Well, Spectacle, yeah, like I said, let me show you again. You see how big it is? 1 gallon, $1,600. And it made me think, some people have insurance policy on their handheld equipment. So I got a backpack blower that's $500, so I put it on my insurance policy. Should I have an insurance policy on my jug of Spectacle Flow? I think not, but you see my point. It's expensive. So why would I do that? Well, here's the logic behind it, and I'd love to hear some of you guys' thoughts. Some of you that are using Spectacle, some of you that's tried it, what's been your results. But, if I'm applying this in the fall, the idea is you put your pre-emergent out in the fall, and it's going to make your life a lot easier the following spring. It's going to prevent those cool season weeds. One of the primary ones that we're trying to prevent with Spectacle is POA. POA annua is a little small weed. It has a little whiskey thing on it. It sticks out like a sore thumb, and it just sticks around for months. You probably can start seeing it in my area around late January maybe, and it hangs around all the way until it gets hot, basically. So the POA is a problem, and the prodiamine does a good job on POA, okay? But what I've been told is that Spectacle does an excellent job on POA. So here's the idea. It's all a numbers game as far as for us in the business. If you're a homeowner, you'd have to really take your yard serious to spend $1,600 on this. But if you bought a jug, it might last you for 10 or 15 years, no more than just doing 1 yard. But for us, if I'm going to, you got to calculate not only the cost of the chemical, but what is the cost of me having to go back out and respray somebody's yard the following spring. That's a big cost. It's not only a cost in just my reputation as a business. I want my yards to be super clean in the springtime. I don't want to be having to go back out and respray. I don't want disgruntled customers calling saying, you know what, I thought my yard was going to look good. So if using a more expensive product, if it's the best product out there, can help keep those customers happy in the springtime, then to me it's worth doing. If it can eliminate callbacks, it's worth doing. If it prevents me from having to go back in with a post-emergent like Revolver and take out the POA after it's already in the lawn, let's say the prodiamine didn't get it all, and I've got POA in the lawn come next February. Well, then you have to go in there with Revolver or some other product, which also is expensive, not quite as expensive as a Spectacle, and you still have to go in there with an expensive product and get rid of it again, plus making that second trip. So, you know what I'm saying? If it can eliminate extra trips, keep your customers more satisfied. And that's another point that was brought up to me one time. Think about it, for us in the lawn business, the busiest time of the year is the springtime. That's when I'm getting the most phone calls for new customers, and that's why I need to be out. I need to be keeping all my yards clean, I need to be taking care of those, but I also have to devote a lot of time to giving quotes and signing up new customers. Well, in that time, I really can't afford, I mean, you have to if you have to, but I really don't want to be making, you know, extra visits out to a yard to clean up POA that I should have prevented in the fall. So if this can all but eliminate callbacks in the spring, keep my yards looking great in the most important time of the year, as far as getting new customers, then to me it's worth the switch. Now, what have I done? I'm just doing half my yards this year. I'm doing half with Spectacle, half with Prodiamine. And a lot of the ones I'm using Spectacle on are ones that I know I had problems with last spring. Ones where I sprayed with Prodiamine and for whatever reason still had a lot of POA breakthrough. So I will know this coming spring how well it works, because if it cleans up those yards that I know were loaded with POA last year, then I think, wow, that's pretty amazing. So, and then from that point, I'll have to make the decision. You know, do I just use Spectacle on the problem yards? You know, because some, they don't have any POA. I mean, I'm used Prodiamine and get great results. So, you know, I don't want to spend 5 or 6 times the money for no reason. But, you know, but if it truly is great on POA, and not only POA, if it helps prevent other weeds that I might have in the spring, then I may look at switching all my customers over to Spectacle, at least all my Bermuda zoysia lawns. So anyway, just a little bit of my thinking, how I'm processing it for my business. You got to look at more of the costs other than just the cost of the actual product. You got to look at the cost of what it, you know, you have to go back and retreat and do all these other things. So all that takes time, and time is money, and the extra chemicals you have to use to treat the lawn from a post-emergent standpoint is also money. So you know, it's a business decision, and I will evaluate and make a decision from, you know, after next year. Hopefully have more data to be able to make a better decision for the following fall, of whether I'm going to go full-time Spectacle or continue to just use it on the troubled yards and use Prodiamine on the better yards. So hope it helps. I'd love to see your comments. I wanted to also bring your attention to another channel out there, that a guy that's doing great videos. If you want to check out Tim, he is the Grass Daddy. Okay, so go look up Grass Daddy. I'm going to actually put a link to one of his videos, 5 easy steps to fix an ugly lawn. So check out that video. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description of this video. So go check out Tim, the Grass Daddy, and check out some of his videos. Thanks a lot.